Now, a law is expected to be passed this week, which means all local run school buses run by the council in Scotland will have to be fitted with seatbelts. At the moment, just over half of local authorities demand that school bus contractors install them. The bill, which will be debated at Holyrood tomorrow, has faced some criticism, as it will only mean seatbelts have to be fitted. It won't mean children have to wear them. To talk more about this, we're joined by Michael Collins, whose children were caught up in a school bus crash in Cumbernauld in February. 22 children from Our Lady's High were taken to hospital after a bus carrying more than 40 school pupils overturned. Michael, thanks for coming in.
Afternoon.
What happened in February?
Well, in February, basically what happened was that the bus picked up speed for some unknown reason, according to the police investigation, and tried to make a tight right-hand turn. The driver did his best to get it round the corner, but it resulted in the bus mounting the pavement on the far side, or I should say the roadside on the far side, and thereby going onto soft ground and tipping over onto its side.
The interesting thing about this bus is it did have seatbelts, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It was fitted with seatbelts.
Were the children wearing the seatbelts?
No, they weren't wearing them at the time.
And what's your take on that then?
Well, it's only since the accident I've become involved in looking at kids' safety on buses, seatbelt policies, etc. And at the time, I just took it that it was compulsory and they were wearing them. It's only after the accident then he started to ask them, my own kids, were you wearing it? And they said no. And I asked them, well, why weren't you wearing it? And he said, well, nobody else does it. So therefore, and after that, a couple of things happened and we thought, right, we'll get together as a group of parents and run a campaign to try and ensure kids' better safety on these buses.
Let's open this up because we have the statement from North Lanarkshire Council. So this is about, there's going to be seatbelts installed on buses.
Yes.
But we had a bus there with seatbelts installed and the kids weren't
Yes.
wearing the seatbelts. And the council say seatbelts are installed on all dedicated school bus provision,
That's correct.
while the responsibility for wearing seatbelts rests with the individual pupil. We do all we can to encourage pupils to wear them, and drivers are asked to report the non-wearing of seatbelts to school staff. All primary school buses and double-decker buses have escorts on board. We would fully implement any changes to legislation relating to the issue. A full investigation into the crash at Our Lady's High was carried out by the police, and they concluded that no action should be taken in respect of the driver nor the bus company.
Yes.
So can we get back to the central issue? How do we get kids to wear seatbelts on buses?
Well, I've had information back from the council and back from SPT saying that they were going to roll out a programme which would educate the schools, the school transport companies, the parents, the children, and it would open them up to showing the benefits of wearing the seatbelts provided on the buses. But so far nothing has happened. And the crash happened in February and we've been getting told this in February and nothing's happened.
The astonishing thing about the piece of audio that went out on Good Morning Scotland was that one of the buses had, was it 661,000 miles? These are all buses anyway, aren't they?
That's correct, yes. The standard of buses that provided by the local authorities, or should say
Some,
for the local
some,
authorities,
by some.
yeah, are quite disgraceful. Some are 29 years or over. The astonishing thing about this is not a local problem, this is a national problem. It's the cheapest it does. It seems to be the best policy rather than the safety of the kids.
The argument, obviously, if we're going to have maybe even 3-point seat belts on buses,
Right.
and even the old buses are retrofitted,
Yeah.
shouldn't it be up to the parents to educate the kids about wearing seat belts?
Yes, it should be up to the parents to educate the kids, but at the same time, I don't see why the local authorities can't bring in a policy whereby they would say that if we are providing your transport for your kids, then your kids are required to follow our guidelines, and one of our guidelines is the seatbelt must be worn. Not will be worn or may be worn, but must be worn. But the feedback we get from local authorities is they won't get involved in this.
Well, the SPT say, and again, they're saying it's up to individual councils to specify what they require.
Yeah.
In practice, they say most already specify the requirement for seat belts for some time, and all contracts will be compliant by the time the new legislation takes effect. But go back to the central issue. You think the council should be in charge of whether the kids wear the seatbelts by stipulating that if you go on one of these buses, you have to wear a seatbelt. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Legally, children 13 and under have to wear a seatbelt, and the driver legally has to ensure that the seatbelt is worn. If the seatbelt isn't worn, then they're made subject of report to the school, and the school will therefore take action on that. But it doesn't seem to be happening.
Before you go, we've got a lot of school buses out there. A lot of school parents will be listening. Given the age of some of these buses, do you think the provision is safe, that these school buses are safe?
No, I don't think they're safe. I think they could be safer. If you look at the bill is only to make sure that bus companies will provide a seatbelt on their bus. There's no stipulation to wear it. So what you're actually saying here, what the local authorities are saying is, you must have this vital piece of safety equipment, but you don't have to wear it. I just think that's crazy. We've tried to get the local authorities involved in it and bring out some kind of a policy to say, you use our transport, you use a seatbelt. If you don't want to use a seatbelt, don't use the transport.
Are you calling for newer buses too?
Oh yeah, the buses just now are, if you go out on the road, John, it's just disgraceful. So I passed one yesterday in Cumbernauld. I won't name the company, but it's been held on by sticky tape. That just shouldn't happen. That's just neglect. They're just not bothering what they're putting on the roads. Some of the buses are disgraceful.
Before you go, how are the kids?
The kids are fine. They were a bit after it, bumps and bruises and cuts and a wee bit of mental stress. But well, I've spent 30 years in the fire brigade and I've attended a lot of road traffic accidents, so I could give them guidance as to, I could ask the questions that they needed to be asked and see what the answers were coming back, and we took it from there. Michael,
thanks for coming in. Michael Collins, 2 children caught up in a school bus crash. Anybody out there got issues with school buses you see the kids jump on? 80295 is the text.